Hey everybody, it's Dale here, sitting at my desk in my office. Call it my workbench, workshop, office, living room, TV room. I wanted to clear up a video I did the other day. It was a short that I put up about knife sharpening. And it was sharpening on a strop, a belt. And a lot of people were confused about that. So I wanted to try and clear that up a little bit. And I hope the following video will maybe clear it up. Sorry for the shaking hands, but I did the best I could there. And filthy, dirty hands, because I've been farting around with knives here this morning. So anyway, I tried to maybe explain it to you a little better so you could understand why that works when you strap your knife on a piece of leather like that. So that's that. Have a look at it, see what you think. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comments. So it's early Saturday morning, about 10:30, maybe 10 o'clock. I just found a movie called Venom, V-E-N-O-M, Venom. Sci-fi movie with Tom Hardy. I've seen it before, but it's a good movie. If you want to check out a good movie. So it's a pretty recent movie, Venom. So, hope you can understand my video that's coming up here next. And like I said, always ask in the comments if you have any questions. Okay, so stay tuned. So what we're talking about, the edge is right here. The cutting edge right here, the very cutting edge, which is in these pictures. This is a V grind, which is typical. Most kitchen knives, or most knives in general, most knives have a V grind. Some kitchen knives have a chisel grind, and then there's a convex grind that's used in usually like axes or heavy chopping knives, but it doesn't matter, it's all the same process to get a sharp knife. So first off, when you sharpen a knife, you use generally a stone or something like this, and you're matching that edge, and you're going, and you're actually removing metal like that. So that's actually taking metal away. And what you're doing is, if you have a dull knife, and this is the V up here where you're cutting. See if I can do that a little better. If a knife is dull, you might have kind of where these edges don't quite come together. These two planes, this one and this one, they don't quite come together. A bigger picture. So this is kind of flat here. So that's a dull knife. So in order to bring that knife to a nice point here, where those edges are touching, where they're matching, to get a nice point here, you have to grind away at this side and this side until you get this point here. It's hard with my hands shaking. So you get a nice point there, as opposed to a dull knife, which would be like that. The way you know that you're getting this edge and this edge to meet at a very sharp point is when you sharpen on a stone like this, you're going to go a little bit on this side, a little bit on this side, a little bit on this side, and you keep going until you take your finger and you can feel it. you can rub your finger on here like this, and you can actually feel a little burr. And that burr will occur when you get these two edges to meet together. Sometimes you get a little burr there, like that. And you can feel that with your finger. So once you get that burr, then you know that these two edges are straight and they're coming together nice and pointy, to put it simply, I guess. So then, once you get that little burr, then you want to go to the strop, which is what I showed you on a leather belt. Or a strop like this, a piece of leather on a stick. And they make compounds, like a stropping compound. It's a paste you put on there to help you clean up the edge. And you're technically not really removing metal, but you are at a microscopic level, sort of. You're polishing that up. And what happens is, as you strop your knife this way and this way, you break that burr off. So that burr breaks off of there, and then you have a nice sharp edge. And that's what gives you the that's what gives you the sharp knife. So when you strop on a piece of leather, like I showed you out on a porch in my short video, you're not actually sharpening. You're honing it, or you're straightening the edge out. You've probably seen all butchers with something like this, and you've probably all seen them doing this before they cut meat. All that's doing is it's straightening that edge out. Instead of the edge curving like that and being a burr, it's just making it nice and straight. So you have a nice point there. So that's what stropping does on a piece of leather. It doesn't actually take metal off. It just straightens the edge, or trues up the edge. And if you get a sharp, once you use a stone and you get these edges to come together with a little burr, and then you strop it to remove that burr, then as you go along using your knife, every so often, depending on how much you use your knife, if you just strop it on a piece of leather, then you're cleaning that edge up again. Because what will happen is, as you use the knife, that edge will roll over. It'll actually roll over like this. And it's not that the knife's getting dull, it's just that that edge rolled over. So now you're straightening that edge out. Does that kind of clear it up for you a little bit? Eventually, you're gonna wear your knife down to where you're gonna need to bring the stone, and you're gonna need to do that again and again, you know, to bring that edge back. But in between those kind of sharpenings, if you just drop your knife like that, you'll straighten that edge out so it's nice and pointy again. And it happens with the kitchen knives a lot. You're usually cutting on a ceramic plate or something. That's the worst thing you can do, but we all do it. So I don't know if that helped clear things up or not, but just remember, that's the edge of your knife. And you have to bring these two planes together to a sharp point up here. And then when you do that, you'll know you did that by getting that little burr there, and you'll feel it with your finger. Just like I said, doing this. You'll feel it. And then you strop that, and what it does is it straightens that out. And it makes it nice and pointy sharp right there. And then as you use it, it'll roll over again, and then you strop and it'll straighten it. So that makes your sharp edge last a lot longer. So actually, on a stone, you shouldn't have to do that very often on a stone. If you strop it every once in a while, you'll find out your edge lasts a long time. And how long it lasts depends on the kind of steel that you have. Some steels last longer than others. But anyway, maybe that cleared it up for you a little bit. I know it's confusing, but I tried. Hang in there. You'll get it. You'll see it. Did you ever go in a barber shop? You see the barber doing that on a strop? That's what he's doing. He's just straightening that edge out. He's not actually removing metal. He's just straightening that edge out. Or the butcher steel. This is a ceramic rod, but it's the same thing. Okay, alrighty. Talk to you later. Oh, and one more thing. I put links in the description box below for this sharpener. It's called a WORKSHARP. And for this ceramic rod. So you can, those are the two things I use to sharpen my knives, mostly. The leather strop you can make yourself with an old belt. Just glue a piece of leather to a paint stick or just hang a belt like I did out on the porch. But I'll have links to these in the description box below if you want to purchase them for yourself. They're not real cheap, but they're a lifetime. Once you buy them, you'll never have to replace them unless you lose them. So check out the description box below for those links. Okay. Well, like they say, that was clear as mud, wasn't it? Anyhow, have a good weekend, everybody. Stay frosty. Dale out.